This selfie stick does a lot. So I just finished work at the museum cafe. It was really busy at the end, and I don't know, it's like the more people there are, the less they are able to think for themselves. It's like there's a correlation. More people, less thinking. What else? I don't want to think too much about my shift. It's over and I'm here. So at Melbourne Museum is actually right next to the Royal Exhibition Building Center, and we're actually going to go into the park now since I am off early and I have my selfie stick. I'm gonna go vlog. I'm gonna go talk about something that's been on my mind a lot because I talked about it yesterday on my Instagram stories and I got really good response, and it was something that I thought that I was kind of alone in, but turns out a lot of people were like, oh my god, like thanks so much for saying what I was thinking, or like I'm glad I'm not the only one. And I'm just like, you are definitely not the only one. There's a whole group of you that are messaging me. I guess that kind of gives me, because I'm not alone and I'm not as weird as I had felt, I'm gonna be even more vulnerable and talk about being happy and sad in Australia. My 2 years of time in Australia is up. I'm living in, I don't know, like 16 days. I'm leaving Australia for good after spending 2 years here, and I want to talk about how I really felt about living here. Oh, wow, okay. I think this is a little bit better. So much better. All right, greetings friends. I hope you're having a magical day wherever you are and whenever it is for you. My name is Brittany Bryant and I'm here in Melbourne, Australia. It's actually December 28, 2019, and I'm so grateful and excited that you're here. Today I'm going to talk about being happy and sad at the same time and how I really felt about living in Australia for the past 2 years. So I'm in the Royal Exhibition Garden, side note, and it's very distracting. It's such a beautiful place. There's people taking wedding photos over there. There are going to be people walking in the back. Please stick with me. I did not have a really great Christmas time. It was actually the worst Christmas of my life. I got on my Instagram stories, and sometimes that's a good place for me to kind of rant if I feel like I can make a point out of it. I had to say that I can be happy and sad at the same time. And a lot of people are happy and sad at the same time, I found out. And that's one of the good things about being yourself and kind of saying how you feel, is that it allows you to connect with more people. So being happy and sad at the same time, like how can one be happy and sad at the same time? For me, I can be sad about the things I have to do on a daily basis. Like I can be not thrilled about working in hospitality or food service. I could be not thrilled about not being with my family all the time, lonely, not having a lot of friends here, unmotivated knowing that the work that I get to do here has nothing to do with my desired career or what I went to school for. And I can feel really jealous living with someone who is living their best life in the exact same context as I am. And I can feel really bad about all those things. And especially this year, my second year in Australia, all of that kind of piled up and sat on my chest, and I felt really sad this year. I felt sad a lot of the time, while still going online, showing up on Instagram, making videos, saying like I love my life, things are so great, I'm so grateful for this, I'm so glad I have the opportunity to do this, wow, look at this view, wow, look at the things I get to do. I can share about those wonderful things in my life and still be sad about it. And I wanted to make that point on my Instagram stories because that does not make me fake or ingenuine. It actually makes me superhuman to be sad and happy. But listen, I can be really sad about things and still consider myself, by all means, an optimist, happy, positive, enthusiastic about the life I get to live, and still be sad at the same time. And this is why. This is how I can be sad but still be an optimist, still be happy most of the time, or in general, or have that general positive outlook on life. It's because I am grateful. I have a habit. It's what I do every day, like consciously, but even it's become enough of a habit that I don't have to consciously like do it. I automatically like step back and find things to be grateful for. Like maybe in a day-to-day, like maybe when you're in a job that you don't like, it's hard to be grateful for that job, but like step back. I got this many hours of work. This means I got this much money. This means I get to live. This means I get to buy this. This means I get to save for that. This means I get to invest for that. If you take enough steps back, you will always find things to be grateful for. Look at the big picture. Like, be grateful you're alive. Like the odds of you being alive are very slim. but congratulations, you've made it. And especially if you're watching this, you've made it to a human experience. So you get this whole range of emotions. Yes, there are always a million things to be grateful for, but you're still allowed to be sad. I really think that comes from a desire or a knowledge, even in the back of your mind, that things could be better. Being sad is mostly like a dissatisfaction that creates a desire to create something greater. So that is the whole being happy and sad at the same time rant, a little more in depth, and the wind's coming. So I think now that I've made that point, I feel like perhaps I've created a safe enough space for me to talk about how I really felt about living in Australia the past 2 years, especially if you follow me online. If you didn't know, social media is a selective highlight reel of everybody. And even the things that aren't highlights, they have selected, they have been pre-filtered out of other things, and they have been manufactured and presented in a specific way, even if they're not a highlight. So please, don't ever watch someone's YouTube or Instagram or anything online and expect that you know that person. Oh, she's happy on her Instagram, she can't be sad in real life. Please don't ever think that about someone. And anybody that's put that pressure on me, F you. So in short, I came to Australia to be with my boyfriend. I had these high expectations for like what kind of job I wanted to work, because I just graduated university and I started working in the fitness industry, and I really wanted to do that here, and I couldn't make that happen. And my biggest regret in coming to Australia was not getting a job in hospitality or food service right away. I really thought like, oh, I could do better. Like I could, maybe if I just keep searching, like I'll find like a job that's more suited, that's more what I prepared my whole like college career for. So I regret like not just like signing up and like taking whatever job I could. But, you know, at the same time, like I believed in myself and I believed I was capable of better. So we always do the best with the resources and knowledge we have. So I can't be too mad at myself. But I fell behind financially, and I ended up going into debt and, you know, owing my boyfriend money, which is the hardest thing for me to admit. And I'm like grateful, like this is probably hopefully far enough in the video that not a lot of people are going to see that or hear that. But that was hard. Like I still loved Australia. I had such a great time. We moved to a yoga retreat and we were working there, and that was like one of the best times ever. Like I love that. I love that experience so much. I came back to Australia for a second year because honestly, like the biggest motivator for me was I wanted to pay my boyfriend back, and I did take whatever job I could get. At one point I had 4 jobs. And I think the hardest part about Australia, it's the end, so I'm super like reflective and nostalgic. At the end, like I see like all the things that I gave up to come here. Like I just started like working in a gym, and I just started teaching color guard, which is my dream job. And, you know, my family was growing, like missing like those years. Not that they're like super important as like an older sister, but like I really felt like I missed out a lot on family stuff. My friends are like moving on and up and through their career, and that's like great. And I'm so proud of them. And I feel kind of left out in that way. God, I think the hardest part was that I moved to Australia to be with a guy. And I feel like there was so much I like didn't do career-wise, and so many financial hits that I took, whereas I don't feel like the sacrifices were equal. Like I felt like I sacrificed more and gained less, and he like gave up less but definitely gained a lot more. Like I love him, like please, but there was like a lot of like jealousy and comparison, and like this isn't fair. It just didn't seem like an equal trade. But it's not that like I want him to like stoop down to me or anything. It's not that I want anything from him to be different. It's just like I looked at my life and I was like, this is what I gave up. Parts of this year especially made me really sad. And I would say like the first half of 2019 was like one of the saddest times of my life. I got through it though. Thank you, my friend Halada. Like we had that trip to Southeast Asia, and that like really like picked me back up. And I'm so grateful that I also hired my life coach, Zoe. Even though that costs a lot of money, like I'm so grateful for it. Like it's like the best thing I've ever like invested in. Life coaching. So that's what made Australia hard. Watching people gain the things that I gave up, and then just a lot of like jealousy and comparison with my partner, and expat stuff like being lonely and like adjusting to a foreign culture. Even though Australia is not that different, like I still feel like I am an outsider. So yeah, but obviously it's more amazing than it is sad. Like it's more amazing. There's a lot more to be grateful for, such as I started traveling, and now like I'm a traveler. And I feel like I've always been a traveler. It's just like, oh, I needed to like move to find out like how much I love being abroad, and how much I love change and hectic schedules and lifestyle design and being flexible. Like I'm actually really good at that stuff. So I've decided to teach a little bit more about it. But I've just gotten to travel and experience things, and I knew I was going to be stressed no matter what country I'm in. So I was like, at least I'm stressed abroad. Like, I can always move back to America and get a job and work on my career and hang out with the same people every day. But as it goes, I am happy, optimistic, positive, grateful, life lover of a person. And there's so much more to be happy about, but I want to be honest. Like, I want to be honest about how I felt here. And this is why I don't have any more Australia content planned. I'm so grateful for being in Australia, but I am ready to close this chapter and move on, and next country, America, and then somewhere else. I feel like I needed to say this. Yeah, God, I'm sad sometimes. But overall, big picture, who I am and the way I look at life, I'm grateful and I love it. And I'm just so grateful for my life. Every part of it. So that's all I wanted to say. Just remember that you can feel happy and sad, but tips for being happy is take a step back and find all the things that you're grateful for. There are so many. Sometimes you have to step really far back, but big picture, there are always a lot better things going on. I promise. So thank you so much for watching this video. As always, I want to wish you a happier, healthier, and more magical day. Bye-bye.